bitching about going to the all-you-can-eat buffet and complaining that there's fat people there. I mean, like, what do you expect? Do you understand what this is? Like, all of you sitting at home, do you understand how a podcast works? It's literally a group of dudes, or gals, or they, thems, whoever, in a room, together, with a camera, normally weed is involved, and you just talk. And you shut up when someone has to go home.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000.
If you're depressed and you know it, clap your hands. Alright, what is up, my dudes? Welcome to the Endless Metal Podcast. Today I am here with Austin Filipponi and Caleb. I did not get your last name.
Natchum.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a pretty uncommon last name,
Natchums.
Natchum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you and I raise you one Filipino.
That is true. Like, I see your Filipponi and I raise you a Schrader, which somehow gets pronounced Shatner, Schroeder, and Schroeder.
Well, that's just because people are dumb. Because Schrader, I feel like, is not that uncommon, the last name. Is that German? I feel like that's German.
It is German.
Yeah.
I've never met another Schrader.
If it makes you... For some reason, English people cannot pronounce German names. My mother's maiden name is Jaeger, but instead of spelling it the Jager, we changed it to Yeager. Because certainly, English people would see Yeager and be like, oh yes, this is pronounced Jaeger. And then I used that for my gamer tag, and everyone pronounced it Yeager. And I'm like, you people are helpless.
Okay. I don't know what else to say to that.
We should probably move
I
on.
don't think anyone that lives in this country, 80% of people know how to pronounce last names that aren't common American.
Real quick, and then we'll get into the actual thing. When I worked at Jimmy John's, we had a sandwich called the Gargantuan. My favorite thing about my job was listening to people try to pronounce Gargantuan. My favorite, too, that we got was they asked for the orangutan and the tarantula.
Yes, I would like the Algonquin.
I would like the Al-Qaeda. I'm going to get canceled for that one. What do the Twin Towers and my monetizable videos have in common? They don't last very long. I'm sure Alex will find some cut of the towers exploding to throw in here now. You brought something up before we started rolling that we said we were going to start with.
The sleep token doxing.
Yes.
Which is old news, but we're also old, so
because this episode is getting recorded almost a month in advance, due to we are throwing a sneak peek of Objector's new song.
Who's Objector?
It's you.
Sorry, our friend Austin.
Hang on. You rip on your own band name in the comments of a video that you are in, talk shit about yourself, and then forget your fucking band name?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Objector OKC, baby.
Yeah, man.
Buy our merch, please.
Listen, if you can't make fun of yourself, then, I mean,
Exactly.
you've lost everything.
Exactly. Now, we will be showing a sneak peek of their newest upcoming single for that, but we are recording this well in advance. That way we have time to make sure it's edited and posted close to the release, to build the hashtag hype. But since all these things we're going to be talking about are going to be old news anyway, figured we would bring up the sleep token doxing, which I heard several different versions of that story. At first, I heard that it was all of them had their names and birth certificates released, but I believe they just confirmed it was just the bass player.
The bass player or the drummer?
I thought it was the bass player, but
Probably.
I don't know.
That sounds like something
I
that
don't
would happen
like
to a
the
bass
band,
player.
so I didn't really follow it all that closely. But one of my bandmates is a big Sleep Token fan, so of course, he followed all the news as it was coming out. And he told me, their names have actually long since been revealed.
Yeah.
People found out, from previous bands that they were in and everything. But it was the fact that they leaked the bass's actual birth certificate.
It's one thing if their identity gets out, because I mean,
But like
on
their
a
birth certificate.
on a functionality basis, it would be so hard for them to keep their identities, because it's like they go to shows, they're playing shows with other bands. They would have to basically be in garb or masked up, like everywhere they go. Someone's eventually going to figure out who they are, and someone's going to squeal. But when you start leaking someone's personal legal documents, that's when you've gone too far.
Right.
Because you could really screw up a dude's life with
Yeah.
with a birth certificate.
Well, much less like
Like
there's a
birth
lot of
certificate.
there's a lot of people that don't fucking like that band. And don't get me wrong, I don't like them either. But I'm not gonna do any like.
Personally, I don't think they're that bad.
That's your opinion. But sorry, no offense.
No,
But
I mean,
We have varying degrees of Sleep Token dislike here.
I think I don't know. I personally think their music's fun
I mean-
to listen to.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you like their music or
Exactly.
don't. The fact that it's gotten to the point where people's legal documents are getting leaked. That's when we have a problem.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing I was going to bring up is there's a lot of people that really don't like Sleep Token.
And you're
Their
afraid of
parents' names are on that.
Yep.
Like, you think some psycho wouldn't find that guy's parents and threaten them or worse? Like, you think that's completely implausible? It's like, that's dangerous to do to somebody.
Yeah.
See, this is
I
why
haven't
you
read
shouldn't make
much
horny
on it,
music.
so I don't really know much.
You make horny music and you attract crazy people.
Right.
Okay, how are we doing, everybody?
Yes.
And Caleb's awake.
Put on.
Happy birthday! Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
Frosty the Snowman has entered the chat.
Oh,
All right, reel it back.
Jolly.
Reel it back. All right.
ADHD.
So,
Okay, I can. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so back to the Sleep Token thing.
Yes, you're the world's biggest fan of Sleep Token.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone knows that I love
I noticed the
Sleep
Sleep Token shrine in the corner.
Yes, exactly. That is the shrine over there where I keep all my Sleep Token-y things and whatnot, and I don't fucking know. I don't really... I gave them a chance, okay? I really tried. Both my roommates were really into them, so I was like, I gotta try. And I just like, why do you guys like this? But, you know, like, I've heard like 2 or 3 songs here that I'm like, hey, that was cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, I believe in the rising tides lifts all ships. So they're getting more people interested in metal, and that is good for everybody who likes or is playing metal music. Because if more people are listening to Sleep Token, that means they might inevitably branch out and listen to other stuff.
Exactly.
So
They're a good gateway band.
yes, they're a good gateway band. So overall, you may not like the way they sound. They're good for the genre. Quit putting people's legal documents online. That's not cool.
Well, like, celebrities don't owe us anything. Like, that's my thing. And, like, everyone, all their fans that don't know how to use Google, because, you know, again, all this shit's been released already, want to know who they are, this, that, and the other, and they want to feel closer to the band, and then they do shit like this. I'm like, I don't care who you are. Like, unless you actually have met that band member in a social setting, gotten their name, and hung out with them, you're not friends with the band. Okay? You listen to their music. They don't owe you anything, and you don't get to put shit about them online when they clearly didn't want it fucking out.
Notice me, Senpai has gone too far.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
Who the fuck wants their birth certificate put on the internet for
Well, that's
everyone to see?
That's the thing. Out of all things you could have released, like the birth certificate, man, that's weird. Like, what, you wanted their baby footprint? Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. But why are you looking at me like that?
People are into some weird stuff, dude.
We're gonna get demonetized so quick on this video.
I just assume. Why do you bother monetizing the videos in the first place?
I don't. They all get demonetized anyway.
How is he looking at you? I wasn't looking.
Like that. Seductively.
What the fuck?
Is that like your mating ritual
It's
that
his
you got going on?
courtship display.
No.
Like you puff out your chest and go,
No, mine is like.
and then you like crab walk over.
Mine's like that one dinosaur they found that has like the teeth.
The underbite or
Yeah.
the serious overbite or whatever. Was it overbite or underbite?
I think it's overbite or underbite. I don't know. Overbite's easier for me, so.
Yeah, exactly. And that was disturbing. I'm gonna see that when I close my eyes tonight now.
Oh, it's what I live to do.
It's gonna haunt my nightmares.
That's all I ask for in life.
Joke's on you. I don't remember my dreams. Anyway, yeah, don't leak people's personal shit online. That's not cool.
PSA.
So
We'll find you.
Yes. Wait. No. That's exactly what we said. We're not gonna.
No, we'll find the people that leaked the documents.
But it's a vicious cycle.
And we'll beat the crap out of it. Like, we'll beat the crap out. I can't. My knuckles aren't cracking.
Mine were.
And we'll report them to the proper authorities.
What is it you said? You can acquire anything with the right amount of crime?
You can make anything with the proper ingredients or the right amount of crime.
Alright, so next topic of conversation. I've noticed a lot of, especially over the last couple of years, a lot of really unusual tour combinations being announced.
Such as?
Like when Slaughter to Prevail was opening for Falling in Reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Or Lorna Shore opening for Gojira and Mastodon.
That one's not super weird.
It really is when you think about it, because they are vastly different genres. Okay, what's the one thing they had in common? Like, okay, the two band names were monsters, and their vocalist sounds like a monster. That's not a correlation. Like it didn't really make sense. I'm not mad about it, but it didn't make sense to me.
Well, Gojira, on their first two albums, they were much more death metal than they are nowadays.
But did they play any of that?
Probably not, but in my brain I see the connection. Also, most of the people I know who like metal like a spread of metal.
Yeah.
They don't just... So, to me, it makes sense. That also used to be a lot more common. Maybe when the genre was smaller or when people weren't as aware of it. Mm. And so you had bands of various different genres kind of all at the same show. And so you would kind of get more... I mean, for crap's sake, one time I played a show where it was my old band, which was a deathcore band. There were two hardcore bands, a beatdown band from Texas, a post-hardcore band, and a singer-songwriter guy just playing acoustic guitar. That was the lineup.
Now, my uncle was in the band Blunt Force Trauma, which was an early death metal band here in Oklahoma. He was in the first wave of death metal, back when Broken Flesh was getting going.
Nice.
Yeah, he's known all those guys forever. But he told me that, death metal guys used to play with punk guys all the time because, there wasn't a very big audience for either, so they would just bring the two together.
Yeah.
And that was common. But for a long time, it's been very uncommon to play with bands that aren't at least in kind of the same wheelhouse. I don't hate on it because I like that.
I do too.
I'm just saying it's a tad unusual. Now, the reason I bring that up is because recently there was a tour announced that I don't know what the fuck is going on with this lineup idea. But there's only 3 bands announced, so I'm thinking it's these 3 bands, and then they'll have supporting acts throughout the tour. Five Finger Death Punch, Marilyn Manson, and Slaughter to Prevail.
Okay, the first two kind of make sense because they're in
How?
Because they're both in
How?
Fucking Slaughter to Prevail and Five Finger.
They're both. I'll give you that they're both kind of radio metal. But have you listened to Manson's last 2 albums?
I've never listened to a single Manson album.
Okay,
I only know the
he's
singles.
not even doing heavy shit anymore. I didn't really listen to that last album that closely. Don't crucify me in the comments, okay? I'm not 18 anymore. I moved on to other things. I'm just kidding. I like Manson, but his last 2 albums have been very, very different. Fire Death Punch is a pop metal band.
Yes.
And then Slaughter to Prevail is, Slaughter to Prevail.
I'm going to imagine that Slaughter's probably going to be the one opening the show.
Yeah, that's how it's lined up.
Yeah. So
Death Punch headlining Manson, and then...
I guess also, I'm thinking of it from a marketing standpoint. The first 2 bands make sense, because they're both radio rock / metal bands. You're very likely, if you turn on, The Cat right now, and wait an hour, you will likely hear Marilyn Manson and Five Finger Death Punch.
You will not hear Marilyn Manson on the radio right now. He got canceled, remember?
At one point, actually I don't, because I knew he was maybe gonna get canceled, and then I never knew what happened, and then I stopped hearing about it.
Well, that's the other side of this, is that it's weird that he's confirmed a tour when his only 2 band members he had left, one of them left when his allegations started. At least according to what I was able to find on Google, he only had a drummer and a lead guitarist that were still like in the band. But the lead guitarist left in 2019 when his allegations kind of came to surface. So like and even in this article it mentions like there hasn't been an announcement of who is touring with Manson. So nobody knows who his live band is. So that's intriguing, honestly. I'm kind of interested to see who he's bringing along with him. But I don't know. It's just I just don't see the correlation with any of them. I could almost no, actually I couldn't. I was gonna say I could almost see Slaughter and Five Finger, but no, I really couldn't because Slaughter is vastly heavier and different from Five Finger. Five Finger doesn't even play their old heavy shit anymore, from what I've heard.
But see, that to me makes more sense why they're on the tour with Manson. I see the correlation there from like a marketing perspective. They to me are kind of in the same sphere. Even if Manson got canceled, he used to be in that same radio.
I don't see how he is.
He Manson somehow ended up in that like Red State Rock Festival kind of sphere.
Oh, well, yeah, he did headline Cat Fest that one year.
Exactly.
Didn't he call us Texas or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
So that's why he's in there with Five Finger Death Punch. And Slaughter, I'm imagining they put on the tour. One, their agent probably negotiated it, and they're the young band, and they're getting on this bigger tour so that they can get more exposure, because they're probably one of the bigger bands in the more, like, obscure metal genres. I know deathcore is not really an obscure genre, but to, like, there's tiers of metalheads, and there's, like, the normal metalheads that just listen to, like, radio metal, like Metallica and Five Finger Death Punch. I'm not knocking any of this stuff. I'm just calling it like it is.
I find those to be more of normies, honestly. Pretty much anyone can get down with Metallica and Five Finger.
No, yeah, they're the social. They're normal people.
They're the Bud Light of metal.
Oh, that hurts. That's a little too far.
Not really. There's very little metal actually in there, but it's in there. It's in there. You got to take quite a bit of it in.
But so Slaughter on that tour package, from like a marketing perspective, is bringing in a younger fan base.
Okay, I can kind of see what you're saying.
And then their boon for it is that they're getting more exposure to a bigger audience, because Five Finger and Manson are going to draw a bunch of people who are going to show up for the whole show because they're old and they have money and they can do that.
Well, a lot of those old heads, it's like they don't show up when the band they want to see plays. They show up at the beginning, and if the band they want to see plays earlier, then they leave afterwards, but they don't show up late. So, like, yeah, they'll catch the beginning of the set. But honestly, this just seems like the tour package set up by someone's like, hey, you know those really trigger-happy metalheads that get really offended? Like, all these bands have pissed people off within recent years. Let's put them all on the same fucking tour.
Has Slaughter pissed people off? Or is it just the fact that he's Russian?
Bro. Have you not... How far behind are you?
Oh, I'm very far behind.
Yeah, you're on like season 2 of this bullshit. I'm on like season 8. Slaughter, the vocalist Alex Terrible, said something about drag queens or something like that. And, you know, he got attacked on Instagram and Facebook and everything for being, like, transphobic and shit. So, Slaughter, to prevail, being the band they are, and Alex Terrible being the man he is, he didn't, I wouldn't say he necessarily doubled down on his comments, but he didn't back down either. Mm-hmm. So, then people were upset, and then people start digging up stuff from the surface. Like, I guess he had a Nazi tattoo on him at one point, and he had it covered. And he had spoken about that tattoo years ago, basically saying, you know, he was a stupid child and he was ashamed of it. But, of course, that got brought back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, Slaughter's under a lot of fire right now because everyone's convinced that Alex Terrible is a Nazi.
Mm.
And then Manson, I mean, it's fucking Manson.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
well, then there's the connection we found. They're all socially dubious bands.
Yes, but from a genre standpoint, it just seems so odd. And, I mean, I guess it could be fun, but, like, I would only really be interested to see Slaughter. I've seen Manson a couple of times already, and I don't know if I'd stay for Five Finger or not. I don't really like their music. I like the first 2 albums, but, like, I don't really... Every once in a while they put out a song that I'm like, hey, that wasn't that bad. but I'm just not a fan of their music.
Yeah.
But I hear their live performance is really good. And I don't like Ghost, but I'll be the first one to tell you, Ghost put on a hell of a show when I saw them.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see if it lives up to the hype. But I don't know if I would pay to go to this tour.
I have.
And it's coming to Oklahoma. It's going to some place in Durant. I've never even heard of this place. Choctaw Grand Theater, Durant, Oklahoma.
Oh, that's the Choctaw tribe has built like a ton of stuff out there.
Okay. See, I'm never in Durant, so I don't know. I guess I can see your point on it. I find it a little odd. Caleb, you have anything to add on this?
On the Slars Prevail stuff? No, I don't really listen to Slars Prevail. I haven't really listened to them since I was like 13.
I forget they've been around that long.
They have. They were still around.
Yeah, I listened to their first EP. I forgot what it was called, but it was the one with the Lucas Man feature because
Yeah.
Well, he started on he got big on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then
I remember that doing those vocal covers.
His lows will forever be remembered, but his highs they just sound bad. I don't like.
Does he do highs?
Yeah, I mean, at least in his earlier videos, he did Infinite Annihilator covers. I mean,
well, some vocalists do one thing really, really well, and then they branch out, and it's it's hit or miss. But anyway, I just found that kind of interesting of a combination. I'm not against these more obscure tour combinations per se. It's just that one when I looked at it, I couldn't bring a correlation into it, why that made sense.
money. It's always about money.
Well, yeah, obviously, the doy money, but I mean, it just, most people don't make such a blatant cash grab. They at least try to hide it under the veil of something. So, oh, this makes sense because of this. There was just nothing for this one. They're like, buy it. We know you're going to. So, I have two more topics, and then we'll get into the song, and we'll do all that fun shit.
That's deep.
Okay. Cool. So, y'all heard about Jay Weinberg getting fired from Slipknot a while back, right?
Yes.
I didn't know he got fired. I thought he just left.
No, he was
No,
fired.
He got feared.
Supposedly for, creative differences or something.
Creative differences.
Or not creative differences. It was a creative move, is what they said. Because they're an ever-evolving band or some shit.
Even though they've released,
creative and what
consistently, 3, 4, 5-ish albums that all sound the same.
Please tell me which albums sound the same. Yep.
I feel like all the ones after Paul Gray left sound roughly the same.
Absolutely not true.
Okay.
The Gray chapter was just off.
Is it okay?
It was okay. That's the thing. It was okay.
I mean, it's the first album back from losing one of the primary songwriters.
I would say that We Are Not Your Kind was more akin to a mix between, Volume 3 and All Hope Is Gone, but it didn't sound like any of the previous albums to me. The last album kind of had a collage of all the albums in it. I got flame broiled on YouTube for reacting to the first single because I said it reminded me of Iowa Slipknot.
People love Iowa, though.
Yeah, I know, but nothing will ever be Iowa. We can't admit anything's good after the second album. So,
Remember when people would trash on you for liking Slipknot, and now they're forever enshrined?
Yeah.
The only
I have one of Slipknot's signature basses. I have one of them in that case over there.
You have the ATK for?
Not that one. It's one they released after he died.
Oh.
But they only made 1,000 of them.
You were saying, Caleb?
I was going to say earlier, the only Slipknot album I really like is the first one, the self-titled.
Yes. What an original take. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Did you know that wasn't even the first album?
No, I know there's another one called Feed,
Kill, Repeat.
Yeah,
that
one. They had a different.
It was such a weird album.
They had a different vocalist back then, Anderson.
No, I want to say they replaced him with Corey before they recorded that.
No, they didn't.
Did they not?
No, that album has a different vocalist.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't. I don't think Corey Taylor came into Slipknot until like 1997, right, or 1998.
I think Eat, Make, Kill, or whatever the fuck it was 95 or 96.
Yeah.
Yes. it was
Because you
very
can
good.
was
only
96.
find that on YouTube, uploaded by independent people, because
Mhm.
they have tried to erase that album. They hate it.
I know the barcodes on the back of their jackets were the barcode from that album.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But,
Intro.
anyway, yeah, they brought on Corey, and then they put out the album everyone considers the first Slipknot album after that.
Well,
the first
I mean,
canon Slipknot album.
Yes.
I mean, for me personally, it's the first album, and then like a couple songs off of every other album. Like,
Right.
I think all their stuff, and personally, the new couple of songs I wrote, I didn't think they were. I didn't think they were a very good taste.
Are you talking about the last album they put out, or have they put something out that I missed?
The one with something.
Chapeltown Rag?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I like that album. I get so much crap for saying that.
What is it? The End So Far?
I
End so
personally,
far.
I personally.
That is a great album title, though, I will admit.
Yeah, no, it is.
The End So Far.
But it was also the last album they were contractually required to write.
Mm.
So after that, their contract was up. And honestly, at this point, they could go independent and not re-sign anything, and they would be fine.
Oh, absolutely.
But nobody knows what they're going to do when, they fired Jay. Which leads us back to what I was bringing up.
They could just retire right now.
They
They
could.
won't do that.
Corey says he's got another 5 or 10 years at best before he's going to retire. But anyway, the reason I brought up Jay is because they have announced that he has rejoined a band.
What?
Guess the band.
I think I read
What?
something on
Hang on.
that.
Got a guess?
Harold Melvin and Blue Notes.
Not even close. Suicidal
no.
tendencies.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Right? Yeah, I thought so.
Because he played with Madball for a while, didn't he?
I don't know, but I just
He played with-
stylistically, I thought it made sense.
Yeah, he played with one of the OGs of New York hardcore. I want to say it was Madball, and he got kicked out of Madball too.
That's gonna hurt.
Well, okay, so old school New York hardcore scene is there's a fine line between old school New York hardcore and gang life.
Okay.
And Madball was about that life, and Jay Weinberg was not about that life, and so Jay Weinberg got kicked out for being too much of a
For not wanting to die.
yeah.
You don't want to give your life for the streets.
Yeah, for being too much of a straight lace.
Man, y'all ever watch Boondocks?
Oh, I've seen it.
Back in the day, I think I caught a couple episodes.
Man, I
I've
can't
seen it a
even
few
say it because I'll get canceled, but the N-word moment where, they're talking about how two black men will just get, unreasonably angry and just start, shooting and trying to kill each other. But then they do this scenario where it's a white guy and a black guy, and the black guy tries to start shit, and the white guy stops, and he's like, wait a second, I'm white! And he starts to walk away, and the black dude's like, this is a perfectly acceptable moment to throw your life away right now! That's what that sounds like to me. Was Madball was just like, where are you going? This is a perfectly acceptable way to throw your life away!
No, they kicked him out.
No, I know, but it's
because-
just like, he wouldn't join in on it, so they're like, what, you don't want to throw your life away over stupid shit? But anyway, I just thought it was cool, and it's a nice little silver lining because, he was kicked out of there kind of suddenly.
Did you know that Thundercat played in Suicidal
I was
Tendencies
about
for a
to
while?
say that, yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was in Suicidal Tendencies for a while as their bass player.
Huh.
Yeah, Suicidal Tendencies just keeps creating amazing bass players, and other people keep stealing them. Because Robert Trujillo was
Damn.
from Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, he was the original bassist, right?
I don't know if he was the original, but he was pretty early on. He was with them for a while.
Y'all ever wonder, when you hear about these bands that have, this
He
one
was also in
particular
a Black
big-
Label Society.
Oh, yeah?
Robert Trujillo.
That doesn't surprise me.
Y'all ever, hear about
Limp
these...
Bizkit sucks, dude.
Fuck you, I love Limp Bizkit. Anyway,
I was quoting Zach Wild, sorry.
it doesn't matter. You don't speak that sacrilege in my house. We keep rolling.
My bad, I didn't
Anyway.
mean to speak.
It's
bad.
okay. This is just a new metal positive space.
That explains
So-
the giant Limp Bizkit mural behind you.
Ah, yes, Alex.
Holy shit.
He'll fucking edit one behind me. I swear to God,
He'll
will.
do it. He'll fucking do it.
He will. It'll be Fred Durst making the
Wait.
dumbest face.
Photoshop my hat red.
Anyway, y'all ever like you mentioned that suicidal tendencies keeps turn your hat the right way.
Yeah, you.
You're so fucking white, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you little punk bitch.
Anyway, you hear about these bands like what you said, suicidal tendencies keep making incredible bass players, and then other people take them. You ever see that kind of shit and wonder, like, damn, maybe you're the problem because of how many band members they've gone through of one particular position? Beyond Creation has had a different bass player for every album. Red has had a different drummer for pretty much every fucking album. Like, and I start to wonder because, like, with Red, they've talked about it a little bit in, like, interviews and stuff about, like, how, like, they don't understand it themselves. It's stuff happens. And not always was it, like, something they did. Like, one time they found out there was allegations about one of their drummers or something like that, so they kicked him out. But, I mean, sometimes when you go through, like, 6, 7 people for one position, you have to start to ask yourself, who's the problem?
To be fair, I feel, on one hand, I feel like that's just drummers. They're just like, here 1 second and gone the next.
Well, there's only like 10 of them. So.
That's true. Exactly.
He was in Slipknot for like 10 years.
Who?
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Jay Weinberg.
No,
we're just talking about band.
We're talking about Red. On the other hand, the last time I saw Red, speaking of weird lineups, they were touring with, oh crap, now I'm blanking on their name. In Flames. They were touring with In Flames. And...
I mean, it's not completely out there. It's not as weird to me as Manson and Death Punch and Slaughter, but it's a little out there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Red can get heavy. They can. They just don't. Some of their shit hits a lot heavier live, though.
Their old albums are better.
Anyway. No, every Red album except that last one was pretty fucking good.
I haven't listened to Red since Until We Have Faces.
Well, that's just your opinion, man.
But anyway, I watched them I watched them at the show, and they kind of, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if a fan was a person in the crowd was instigating it, but there was one part in the show where they just stopped playing and were, like, yelling at this one guy in the crowd and, like, just getting way too dramatic and, like, angry at this person in the crowd who was, I don't know, maybe drunk, maybe not. I get it. Drunk people are annoying, but I'm also like, chill, bro.
I don't know. For me, it depends on what the guy was doing.
That's fair. I admit, I have not a lot of context for this.
Right.
But I can understand. To me, I don't know. It colored me in a way of, like, it makes me feel like there's some people in that band that have a temper. So, I don't know. It also could just be, that's just how drummers are, and they get one opportunity, and they join one band, and they get a better opportunity. That's just life, baby.
I mean, I feel like that's just kind of musicians in general. When a better opportunity comes up, I mean, yeah.
Gotta get it. Get that bread.
Yeah.
Get that sweet sourdough loaf.
Get that sweet sourdough loaf. Okay, we're going to move on to the last topic. What?
I'm sorry. I mean, I just haven't been paying attention to, like, any metal drama since, like, 2021.
It's fine. We're still going to bring it up every once in a while.
I know.
Drama!
It's not my...
Drama. Anyway, so this is the last thing I had planned. So, do you guys know the band Distant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah, no, they're fucking dope. I met them online, years ago, like when Endless Metal first started, because that was like my third video I ever made was a Distant reaction.
I vaguely remember, like, your channel started around the same time they started.
Yeah, around 2020 or 2020 something. Anyway, so there. Have you guys seen that picture going around of them selling merch outside? Like, because the venue's merch cut?
No, but that's genius and I love it.
So apparently this venue, there's I'll just read this part of the article. The guitarist of Distant, I don't know if I can say his name because they're all from the Netherlands, and I've met most of them the last time they were here, and they're all very nice, and I feel really bad that I can't say his name. But the guitarist had this to say: unfortunately, not enough people know that we have to pay money to an agency for the merch that is sold during the tour and shows. And take into mind, we bought the merch. This applies in America and Europe. The bigger your band becomes, the bigger the shows. So you would think, damn, we should be able to make a living from this, right? Well, unfortunately, there is an agency that manages a monopoly position and then says, we will sell your merch and we charge a commission for it and some costs added. And with some costs added, you pay 40 to 50% of a sale to them.
Mm.
That's why the merch items are so expensive at all the big shows. We then have to send an invoice to the agency and wait another month until the invoice is perhaps paid after a month. If you don't do this, you won't be allowed to sell your own merch. You decide to sell your own merch yourself. Then there is a chance that you will be blacklisted and have other consequences. So their response to this was to set their merch booth up outside the venue and sell it there.
Makes sense.
And there wasn't shit they could do about it. And I know there's posts going around like talking about merch cuts and everything, and I haven't played any like large enough shows to have ever dealt with that, so I'm not too familiar with how bad people tend to get screwed over.
We are lowly local plebs, and we are the band, the merch people, the roadies. We are the everything.
Right, but 40 to 50%.
That's redonkulous.
To the agency, and like
that's like the old 360 deals.
You guys have seen their merch, right? Like it's pretty cool shit. Like it's very detailed. Like, my Endless Metal shirts I had made were like $5 to $7 a shirt or something like that, and they were pretty basic.
Yeah.
Like, so I imagine they're paying probably closer to $10, if not more per shirt. Then they're selling it for $30.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $20 of profit, but you have to then pay 50% to the venue of a $30 shirt. So they're making $5 a shirt, if that.
So what I'm trying to understand is this, like, basically it sounds like there's a middleman organization that, like, so are they buying the merch from this organization that is then also selling it for them?
No, they're buying it themselves.
Okay, so they buy it themselves.
They run their merch table, or at least they did when I've seen them.
So it's
the venue taking a cut, or not the venue taking a cut. It just says the agency.
Okay, it sounds like maybe the larger venues, they hire this agency that runs the merch booths for the bands, and then.
See, it's never been explained to me like that. Anytime people talk about merch cuts, it's just like, if you want to put your merch table up, you have to give us a cut.
Yeah.
That's the way that it's always been described to me. And a 40% cut just to put your fucking table in the corner that people may not even buy anything from you from in the first place. So, like, what little money you do get, you gotta split with someone?
That is one of the downsides of the music industry, is I feel like people are like, oh, musicians are stupid and don't know anything about business, so we can totally pull a fast one on them. And then we go and sell shit out of the van in the parking lot because we don't give a shit.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, man. I say baller move on their part.
No, I'm proud of them, but I think it's fucked up, and frankly I feel like it should be illegal for them to demand that high of a cut of something when they're not doing a damn thing.
Not really, no. I mean, the solution is then what they're doing of being like, fine, then we'll just sell our shit outside, and more bands should just do that if people are demanding a merch cut.
Yeah.
And eventually these venues will figure out, okay, I guess I have to.
People just wait till the end of the show and go buy it outside.
Yeah, most people
and
wait till
it'll be cheaper because they're not paying a fucking markup.
Most people, I feel like wait till the end of a show to buy their merch because you don't want to. You either have to double layer, and depending on how hot the venue is, that's not always fun.
Oh, man.
Or you just wait till the end of the show and buy it before you leave or some shit.
I've rolled up shirts and put them in my cargo pocket before.
Mm-hmm.
It's awkward, but it beats holding it.
Yeah, I lost a shirt one time. I came in a shirt, and then I bought a new shirt, took it off. This was like at Mayhem Fest.
You came in a shirt?
Hey, man, whatever's handy, I guess.
Listen, the lead singer of this one band was really hot. Okay, don't touch me. No.
Hang on, which band?
That's stupid.
Shit, I'm trying to think of a funny. I'm trying to think of who was at this.
What year was it?
It was 2012.
That was my first show ever.
Your first show ever was 2012 Mayhem Fest?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who all was on there.
Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, Anthrax, As I Lay Dying, Whitechapel, Betraying the Martyrs, Asking Alexandria, and I want to say like Born of Osiris or
I
someone
don't think
was
Born
there.
of Osiris is
There
there.
was someone on that label. In
Now,
that wheelhouse that we
Motorhead
did.
and Anthrax were both there. That's it. It was Lemmy. Lemmy was the one who made me came all over my shirt.
Ah, yes.
It's Lemmy, man. You can't not come for Lemmy.
Oh, yeah.
With that big ass wart on his cheek.
Rest in peace.
I'm about to get his portrait tattooed on me.
Nice.
Dustin
Dang,
Hale.
dang, 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 dang.
Dustin
Anyway.
Hale's about to do it.
You guys ever listen to that Dave Grohl duo with that?
Yeah, he did a doom metal album with Lemmy.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
I've never listened to it.
I haven't either.
I just know it exists.
Yeah. I knew they
Yeah.
were friends,
Also,
but
it's
that was
called
about it.
they're called like not Probot. I think that's another band, right?
No, I think it was Probot. Something like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But. Oh, yeah, I realized after this we have to fight because when two bass players get in the same room, they have to fight.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Well,
so.
we're all bass
Okay,
players.
but what
so
I
is
meant-
this like,
But you, like, do 3 other things, so you're, like, counted out. Like,
I belong nowhere.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Okay.
Technically,
what
he
I
plays
meant,
guitar too.
What I was, I'm playing it. I'm taking control in the lead guitar. section.
nah, you ain't getting out of this. You came in as the bass player.
No, I only got on bass because they needed it.
No, I know.
No.
I know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
You're not
No.
you're not gonna have to
Quit-
fight me. It's okay.
Quit lying.
It's okay. No,
Quit
it's okay.
lying.
We can
You
fight.
played bass because you liked it. You liked it. I saw.
I
the
was
look
more
of glee on your
comfortable.
face.
I was more comfortable with playing bass at the time, but now I'm more comfortable with guitar now.
What happens when he's more comfortable with vocals?
I guess we fight to the death.
All right.
Honestly, actually, I would probably just let him take over vocals, and I'll play guitar for like an album cycle.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about you, man. If like your performance ever suffers, you have the option to move to another position.
Garrett and I do that sometimes, where during parts we'll switch off between guitar and vocals.
Yeah, because Garrett does vocals too.
Yeah, Garrett's pretty good at vocals,
You
actually.
just do that for show, though. You don't do that for like any particular reason other than.
So
No, it's just fun.
there was this band. They're not a thing anymore, unfortunately. They haven't been together in a long time, but they were called In the Time of Titans.
That name
And
sounds familiar.
I think there was 4 or 5 guys in that band. I can't remember for sure.
Were they from here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were a local band that my old band played with a bunch of times.
Maybe.
But they would trade positions throughout the set.
Yeah.
All of them were at least proficient in each other's instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So they would swap, and they all did, like 3 or 4 of them did vocals.
Yeah.
So they would swap throughout the set. It was really cool. Very entertaining.
The Chariot used to do that like all the time too. Is their bass player Wolf would give their vocalist the bass player, and he would play bass, and then he would do the vocals because
Right.
the Chariots just mayhem. Anyway,
So, job will get done, just not well.
I'm just focused on trying to graduate and get into college. Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
he's a little lad.
You're still in high school?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
little
I'm
lad.
about to graduate.
I thought you were like fucking young when I saw you, but I'm like, hey, I'm. All right, let's get into this. Alex is gonna hate me editing this. I'm sorry, Alex. You know what? I'm not sorry. What are you gonna do? Edit something embarrassing on me?
You and you and you. I hate your band and they hate me too. It's true, it's true, it's true. This is Endless Metal Channel. Throw your hands up and say.
So, the last thing we're gonna do here, and the main reason we're here, is you guys have a new song coming out.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So, when does it drop?
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
I and legitimately I did that because I was like, we can't do it April 1st. People will
4/2.
think it's a joke.
4/2/24.
I mean, they're gonna think the song is a joke either way, but
Well, it is hardcore.
at least they'll know. Yeah, exactly.
Four-
At least now they'll know it's actually coming out.
Okay, you don't know mind.
4/2.
4/2/24. Your mom's a whore.
Okay, you got a new single, and what's it called?
Synthetic stab wounds.
Synthetic Stab Wounds.
Yes.
Sounds honestly like something a death metal band would put out. Tell me about it. What's up with that?
I legitimately just name songs things I think sound cool.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He said when we were practicing at Garrett's house in Ada that he wanted something to sound like cyberpunky, like futuristic, like mathy texture.
When I wrote the song, it's very jagged and it's got a lot of like pitch shifting riffs, like the whammy pedal, that the laser ray guns, and I wanted it to sound just very like almost like digital static or something.
Right.
And so when I wrote the riffs, for some reason, synthetic stab wounds was the first thing that came to my brain. I wanted something. I basically just took a technological word and combined it with a very violent word.
All artificial.
Yeah.
Is it's pretty good. It's pretty futuristic and stabbing people while we're hardcore.
We do like to stab people.
Yes.
Yes.
We indulge in a little bit of
The
stab
hardcore guys, real badasses, and half of them are vegans because they don't want to hurt animals.
Oh boy, I love
Hey.
stabbing.
Hey, people are a different story.
I'd be interested to do a survey and see how many people in the hardcore scene are actually vegan.
It's just a joke, but I am curious. I am curious about that too.
It's not a nominal number of the population in hardcore.
Yeah.
Of course, hardcore in itself is a nominal number of the population.
All right. So, anything else you want to share with me about this before
You'll hate it.
I'll hate it.
You'll hate it.
Does it sound like Psycho Sinner?
Maybe.
What kind of hardcore band is this?
No, I don't think it does.
A quirky one.
All right. Well, let's play it, shall we? You're right. This is awesome. Why I started giggling partway through that is because we're listening to this through a laptop speaker,
Uh-huh.
so obviously clarity isn't the best. I swear to God, during that part, it sounded like you were just going cocaine, cocaine, cocaine,
Yes! Yes! Meme it! GIF it! Put it on the internet!
cocaine. Y'all ever see Cocaine T-Rex? Like way back in the day.
There's a cocaine T-Rex?
It's back. Okay, so back when
Holy
Vine,
shit.
back when Vine was a thing.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes!
Okay, so
some fucking cocaine! Yes!
you want some fucking cocaine? Yeah! Part of waking up is cocaine in your cup. Anyway, Alex is probably gonna have to cut all of that out. Anyway, yeah, so I just thought it was going, cocaine! Cocaine! And that's why I started giggling.
That's the lyrics now.
I just couldn't help but think of the T-Rex, cocaine T-Rex all grown up, and he's in a hardcore band now.
Just the tiniest arms, the like.
Anyway, no, that was dope. Who's your drummer?
Vincent Collins.
Vincent Collins?
Yeah.
So were those live drums on the recording just now?
Those are the first time I've ever had live drums on an Objector song.
Because you've had to program them previously, right? You had a hell of a time finding a drummer, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like anybody.
Well, drummers are hard enough to find, and then you were looking for like a hardcore drummer in Oklahoma. So, and
Yeah, but
most
like,
of the hardcore drummers are already in like 4 or 5 bands.
that's true, but like, so admittedly, Vince is a really good drummer. He comes from a jazz background.
That's even better.
Yes, no, he's a phenomenal drummer. So, and I kind of just found him on. He hit me up on Facebook because I had been posting ads of like, I'm looking for a drummer, and he was like, I'll do it. And then I tried him out, and I was like, yeah, you got the gig, bud.
Yeah.
He told me like a couple sessions ago that he learned how to do double bass like a week before he tried out for the band.
I mean, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, no, I was like, you fooled me, but he's a great drummer. But yeah,
Like
so,
I was really noticing the drum work because I mean I'm not saying anything about your programming drum skills or whatever, but
no,
there was a lot more of a like, and again, don't take this the wrong way, but there was a lot more soul.
yeah, no,
in that.
you can't insult my drum programming. I'm very aware of. It's hard to program drums when you don't really play drums. I play drums
Yeah.
a little bit, not a lot, which is why I wanted him to do that song because I knew I wanted to do like some really cool drum fills, and I had no idea how to program those, so I was like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Was it difficult for you to give over a little bit of creative control? Because you've kind of been doing this on your own for a while.
Not for drums, because again, it's something I don't feel I'm super good at anyway. So any
Right.
chance I have to get someone else who can do a way better job than I can, it's like, sure. And at the end of the day, as I still edited them and add my own element and got to tweak them.
Right.
So I think I both enjoy having total creative control. More from an efficiency standpoint, because then I can just crank out music, because I don't have to worry about getting second opinions. I don't have to worry about what this person wants to do. And as we've kind of come together,
I like how you say this person and gesture towards Caleb.
That was not directed at him. No,
But I just leaned over, okay, because I'm high as fuck.
And as we've come together, Garrett actually helped with some of the riffs on that song too. So that's the first song that's kind of had input from everybody, because that's really the first song I've written since other people have been in the band.
That makes sense though, because Garrett also has a jazz background.
Yes. He helped edit some of the riffs and make them less stupid, to put it simply. So probably going forward, I've got a few songs that I've still written myself, but probably going forward after this next batch, mainly because I'm just getting exhausted, it will probably become more and more collaborative. Because, like I said, I like being like the solo songwriter. I also like collaborative projects, because then you can take the best parts of everyone and combine them to make super stuff.
Right.
And I'm only so good at so many things.
Well, you were kind of on your own for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to be difficult to transition the mindset too, of going from I have to do this all on my own to now you have other people you can actually rely on and lean on for things.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is I came from, where I really learned how to be a musician and songwrite was in All Have Sinned, and we were a more collaborative band.
Right.
So I went from being collaborative to being solo and now we're starting to become collaborative again. So I've kind of lived in both worlds, and I like both. Also, when I went to ACM, there's a song, you have to take a songwriting class. Mm-hmm. And so I, for an entire, actually 2 semesters of songwriting. So I spent 2 semesters not only having to write songs with different people, but different people every song. Because they put you in pairs. So I would have to write a song with this vocalist who has a different style, and then write a song with another vocalist that has a different style.
Imagine getting teamed up with someone in fucking country music or something.
I think I had a couple
I would be
of those.
so lost, because my country knowledge is minimal.
Well, funny enough, I think I talked about this on the last podcast. I played in a country band, so I kind of I have a minimal knowledge of it, and I could probably pull it off. And honestly, I enjoy both. I enjoy being collaborative, and I enjoy having total control. Because when I have total control, I can just do whatever I want. If I'm collaborative, I just turn my ego off and I stay in my lane. And, and I just, when you have to be collaborative, you're just like, this is the thing I'm going to work on. If this ends up being great, great. If it doesn't, there's always the next song.
Right. Very cool. So, after this single, what's next for you guys? Is this one of a couple coming, or is this...
After this song, we're going to transition to being a K-pop band.
Yes.
Is that
I'm going to
include
be the
this-
lead singer. He's going to be my manager.
I can't wait to see all you guys in mini skirts and little...
How did you know?
Especially Austin, right?
Well, it's a K-pop band. Honestly, Garrett, as a
Shit.
sexy motherfucker.
No. I hate doing the big things coming soon thing as a
I
band.
get that. It's kind of cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we pretty much never do anything as a band because we're always all too busy.
we literally last year played a show almost every month, which admittedly is not a lot.
Okay, but we didn't really do shit past June. Okay, we had one show in July. Okay,
Yeah, a couple.
well, actually not any show. We didn't have any shows. We had one in August. Okay, none in.
Who are you?
I'm the bassist. I am the I guess technically the former bassist of Objector now. I'm the current lead
Guitar player.
Yeah.
I think so. To answer your question, because we keep getting off rabbit holes, this song will come out. There's another song that Garrett's actually written that we need to try to record. It's just been hard because he lives in a completely different part of the state from the rest
It's
of us.
like 3 hours from here.
He's very far away.
Yeah,
and so either one of these days I need to go down there and record him, or at the next practice he's able to record him. And then we have a few more songs in the bank that I just need to get on recording. But I've also been, on top of doing Objector, I've also been mixing a couple projects for some friends of mine, and then I also have a wife and kid, so...
There is that.
Yeah.
I hear you have to spend time with those.
Yeah, if you don't, they get angry at you.
Weird.
And sometimes they bite you. And not in the fun way.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, the wife part... never mind. We're gonna... Yeah.
Yeah, just cut.
Just go ahead and cut all that out, Alex. Just...
Sometimes I wonder how we're even still in band sometimes.
That's every band, man.
Dude, like, I haven't made it to band practice in like 2 weeks because of that stupid stomach bug that's been going around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how am I still in this band?
2 weeks. 2 weeks is a miracle.
This
for
is-
band.
We practice once a week,
Oh,
and we all live within like 12 miles of each other. We don't have much of an excuse like you guys.
To be honest,
big props to Garrett. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out
Poor
to
bastard's gonna drive everywhere.
Shout out to Mr. Garrett. Okay.
Well,
And
to
this
find his house, you really just got to keep driving until you hear the banjos. And
which he probably plays.
once you turn that corner and then ding 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 ding, yeah, it's Garrett on the porch playing
Yeah,
banjo.
yeah.
Anything
Well,
with
to
strings.
be frank, it's an entire fucking
And trombone.
city.
Don't forget trombone. He plays trombone too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He does go to town.
You play trumpet.
So, all right. Well, if you want to hear the entirety of that song, it will be released April 2nd, not April 1st, because then people will think it's a joke.
People will still think it's a joke.
So, where are you guys uploading that?
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
Spotify.
Spotify, Apple Music.
Is it actually going to be up all at once? Because I've heard people have been having a lot of problems with Apple Music lately.
Well, I can't.
You're going
I
to
don't
try, anyway.
We're gonna try.
Right.
I use DistroKid as my distro service. This is not a plug.
They do not sponsor me.
I
Don't.
wish they sponsored me.
Fucking sponsor someone.
Please. But in the past, when I've released stuff, I've had no trouble with it getting everywhere it needs to go.
Right.
Um,
So it'll be all platforms April 2nd.
Yeah.
And we're not going to bother with time zones. Just check it. And if it's there, cool. Is there like a pre-save link or anything yet?
There is. I probably need to post that.
So can you get it to me by the time this is posted?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So there will be a link in the description down below along with these gentlemen's social media as well as their band's social media for you to pre-save that single if you want to check it out. Austin, Caleb, thank you for joining me. Do you gentlemen have anything else to throw in before we end?
Buy our new merch.
Never put Twinkies on your pizza.
Never eat soggy worms.
Hold up, hang on, real quick. First of all, what you said's obvious. What?
Have you never seen the movie Fat Camp?
No,
Oh, well, I can't help you then.
neither could Fat Camp. Skinny penis out. I never went to Fat Camp.
I also think that